My name is Jay. I'm the owner of 923 Fabrics and Crafts, and I'd like to welcome you to our quick haul video. So I wanted to start with my scrapbook slash junk journal haul. So yesterday I went thrifting with my mom, which is always a lot of fun. My mom was visiting from New York, and they actually left this morning, so it was really a great opportunity to spend some time with my mom. So it was me, my mom, my sister, my daughter, and we took a trip out to Concord, North Carolina, where I love to thrift out there. There's a couple places that are my go-tos. Miss Wanda's spot is really my number one when I go out there. It's junky, and there's a lot of fun stuff and all kinds of things to pick through, and so we always have a lot of fun when we go thrifting. We also hit up a couple of our oldies but goodies, your Goodwills, your Value Village, all of that good stuff. But I wanted to share some of the picks that I found while I was out and about yesterday, and these are all kind of leaning towards ephemera and junk journaling, but those of you who scrapbook or may have some of these items from your memory, you might want to take advantage of these also. And I'm not sure if people knew that we sold ephemera here in the store because it's often tucked away, but I'm going to share with you what I found, which I thought was really, really cool. So one of the pieces that I found was this Carolina Trailways bus schedule. It's really cool. It is from 1966, which I think is just so cool. And it's just an old bus schedule, Richmond to Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, Norfolk, and it has like all the original stops and everything on here. And I just thought it was a really cool piece. I know junk journalists love stuff like this. I haven't quite gotten into junk journaling to that extent, but I thought it was really cool. I do have a couple of junk journalist customers who I think of when I find these things, and so I thought it was a really great piece to pick up. So we have that one. And then I found at the same stop, this is S&H green stamps, Winn-Dixie green stamps. So it's a stamping booklet with all the stamps in here. See, look at that. Has the stamps inside, and I think it was like a grocery store stamping book. Cooperative cash discount stamps when you redeem, so you redeem these stamps. And look at that beautiful imagery on the inside. And then there's a whole envelope of green stamps as well, and the envelope's a little worse for the wear, but the imagery inside this little booklet is just amazing. And I know, again, junk journalists love this kind of stuff, so these pieces, I would sell these together as a set, the green stamps together. Here's another one from Savers that I found, and it's a stamp booklet. It doesn't have stamps with it, but it does have the place for the stamps, which I think, again, would be great for a junk journalist, and using that as ephemera in their books. I'm going to put these on the bottom, and we'll look at those a little bit later, because these are all like books. Okay, so the other thing that I found, which was really, really cool, and I spotted these at Miss Wanda's. These are old maps, old road maps. Now, young folks don't know nothing about using a road map. Y'all don't know nothing about using a road map.
I won't say I do.
But this was our GPS back in the day, right? When you do long distance traveling, this was our GPS. You'd open up these maps, and this one is Kentucky, Tennessee. It's put out by Shell. And this one is from, I want to say it's from the 80s. It looks like it might be from the 70s or the 80s. Let's see. I don't see a year on it per se. I might have to open it all the way up to see the year, but I mean, just it has that classic look. I'm gonna kind of open it up, see if I can figure out the year real quick. I love old maps. When I was a kid, I used to study maps. I don't know if y'all remember the yellow pages used to come out, and on Long Island, what they would do is they would have a mini yellow pages for each neighborhood, and I would go around town on my bike to different neighborhoods and pick up the mini yellow pages from those different towns around where I lived, so that I can get the maps that were attached to them and learn the different areas. I don't see a year on it, but definitely look at the detail there. Really cool. Again, definitely something that a junk journalist would get a kick out of. Here's another one that's a bit older, and this one is a map of Pennsylvania. This one is definitely probably 50s, 60s, much older, much more delicate. This is Pennsylvania, and look at the little mini maps on the inside there. You know, this is cool too. Obey the rules of the road. Really classic. Has the Benjamin Franklin symbol for the interstate. So, you know, this was definitely right around the time that it was really popular to travel by car or cross country. Really beautiful imagery on here, and the colors are really nicely preserved. Again, a really cool map. She had a whole stack of maps in there, and I just kind of picked a few that I thought that would be really cool and nice to have, and maybe I'll put these on display. But this one is kind of a novelty. It's the colonization and trade of the New World, which I think is more a historical kind of feel to it. 1977, it was put out by National Geographic, and again, the imagery, the boats, kind of that national, really more cartoon kind of feel. It kind of gives like when you are watching a movie and they have those, like if you watch an Indiana Jones movie and they have these kinds of maps, really giving very Percy Jackson feel to it, if you will. But very cool. Colonization and Trade in the New World by National Geographic, December 1977. This one is Europe. Again, National Geographic. This one is a bit more detailed, a bit more really detailed. Has like cities and rivers and, you know, all of Europe. This one is from 1962. Yeah, Europe, 1962. So obviously, you know, back in 62, some of the countries were different. Some of the, you know, borders in the probably in the region up towards Russia would probably be depicted differently. So it's interesting to have something like this because it's really historical in terms of how the world was seen back in the 60s versus now. And then finally in the map section, I had medieval England, which I thought was a lot of fun. Again, another National Geographic. This one was put out in 1979, and it has really cool imagery on here, some castles and knights, which I thought was just a lot of fun. And look at that on the inside. The imagery is just so beautiful. I can see some junk journalists just going nuts for this. So again, really cool. And if you guys are interested in more maps, just drop a comment down below and I can get my hands on more of these. They were not, I mean, she had quite a few of them, and it's just a hop, skip, and a jump up the road. Finally, in this section of the haul, I wanted to share that we do collect books. We have a whole bookshelf of old books that we keep here in the shop just for junk journalists. And I recognize that some folks like to pull books apart, and I'm not shy about that. So I don't cringe at people wanting to buy the books just so they can rip them apart, because that's what junk journalists do, and that's okay. But this one is Riddle, Rattle, Fiddle, Faddle. It looks like it's from, I think I looked at the date on this one, 1967. And again, I look at imagery when I pick up these books. You know, I look at how the artistry is on the inside, and I think that, you know, they're really nicely done. They used to do a lot of beautiful illustrations in the books back in the 60s. The stories were a little weird, but definitely the imagery on the inside is very, very cool. So we have this one. This one I might keep. This is a sewing manual that we picked up, and I might keep this one because my friend is going to teach me how to make a junk journal, and I want to maybe have some sewing ephemera to go along with it. So when I saw this, actually my daughter grabbed it, my little Izzy. She's like, "Oh, look, Mommy, there's a sewing manual." So I think this one might be one that I keep. Oh, this is pretty cool. Look at that. This page with all the different stitches on it. Very cool. So I think I might keep some of these just so that I can have some sewing ephemera for my sewing junk journal. A few more books that I found, some beautiful colors here, and again, great imagery on the inside. The wording here, peacock, that's really cool. I always love these kind of classic advertisements to use in different projects, and the colors that they used back in the day. And then let's see, this one is probably from the 70s. Let's see if I can figure it out. 1967. So this one probably around the same time. Plastic projects, right? So it's a craft book, you know, how to recycle projects. So this is kind of like the old school thing of what we do here, right? Sustainable crafting, using things to make new things. So this one's plastics, and this one was fun with 8 cartons. I've got a cookbook, which are always great, junk journaling, right? 101 Glorious Ways to Cook a Chicken. This one, when I saw the image on the front, I was just like, that is the coolest. Look at that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? I just love the way that they did the images back in the 60s and the 50s, and I want to say this one's from 1950, but this is, it might be the 50s or the 60s. I don't know. They have some real images on the inside, but I love this. This right here is just, I'm in love with that. Benjamin and Tulip. I thought this was cute, mostly because it has pages with just 1 line or 2 lines, which would be nice in a book or in a card if you added it as a sentiment. Like this one, you know, just the creatures on here, you know, playing with the watermelon. You know, they're arguing and all of that, but they're so cute. This one I thought, again, another book, hardback cover. This is from 1976. Again, beautiful imagery on the inside, 1-line sentiments. I mean, 1-line, you know, storylines, and beautiful illustrations. Again, for junk journalists, I think these are really fun. Look at that. That's so cute. The little kid with the mouse up there. It's so cute. And I could see, like, just using this. Oh, that's lovely. The little girl on the swing. So some really beautiful, beautiful images in these books that I really thought were cool, and I think junk journalists would get a great fun out of it. And finally, this is the last book. This is a Sunday school book, The Wet, Wet Walk. Again, beautiful imagery. You know, if any of these bring back memories and you just want to have them for nostalgia's sake, definitely stop on by. We don't sell these things for much more than a couple dollars, depending upon you know, what it is. But so that's our haul for paper craft and junk journaling. So I'm going to shift this over. So we're going to shift over to our sewing haul. And I'll start with the 99. The 99 that I picked up. Oh my gosh. We were down in the basement at Wanda's out in Concord, and my mom spotted this box. She opened it up, and lo and behold, it was beautiful Singer 99. So I'm going to slide it over just a little bit. She's a little rough, but just gorgeous. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I love vintage sewing machines. I think this is probably number 58 or something like that, maybe more. I've lost count of how many sewing machines I have. I really do need to do a count because I really kind of need to know. But it's a beautiful Singer 99. The only thing I see visibly that it needs is a plate right over here. Easy enough to get. It has great motion. The cord looks like it's in good condition. The pedal looks like it's in good condition. It has a needle, has a bobbin tire. We can replace that. The belt is in great condition. You'll never guess what I paid for it. I'll let you guys guess in the comments, but I love it when I find a great machine for zero money. So we are going to clean this one up and make it available for sale. I will sell this one. This is the second 99 that I have like this in a box, but you know, I want to make sure that I clean it up and have it ready to go, get it tested and all of that good stuff. But this was probably the find of the day yesterday. I was so excited, and what's funny is that, you know, when I go out thrifting, I don't go expecting to find sewing machines, but I always go looking. So, so this was the find of the day yesterday. I know that there are some of my followers who really enjoy vintage sewing patterns, so I'll show off some of the ones that I got yesterday. Again, I had to make some tough choices because they had some really cool ones there. This is probably one that I'm going to keep. When I saw this one, I thought about my daughter, my 18-year-old, making some skirts for her. This one's really cool too. And again, even my junk journalists sometimes get a kick out of having some of these vintage patterns. Anyone who's been to the store knows that we do have quite a few vintage patterns in the store, and right now they are buy one get one. So normally they are $1, they are 50 cents, excuse me, right now during our sale. But these are some of the patterns that I picked up yesterday. And I was really strategic in the patterns that I chose, kind of thinking about making some things myself. We'll see. We have a couple of classes that are coming up using vintage patterns, so we will keep that in mind. We did have a donation yesterday and earlier this week, and so the donation was mostly magazines and some additional sewing pieces. So I'm going to share some of that with you. The first thing I'm going to share with you are zippers. Now, anybody's been in the store knows that we don't normally get a whole lot of zippers, but lately we've been getting a lot of them, right, Elle? We've been getting quite a few zippers. So we got a bunch of zippers in just yesterday. We're going to put those out on the floor. And then we got some bias tape and elastic. So a couple of different colors of bias tape and a couple pieces of elastic. We've had elastic for a while, and if anybody's looking for elastic, it's mostly like this. We have the 1/4 inch, and then we have this, which is nice for like waistbands and stuff. We've got a bunch of this in our thread cabinet. So if you are interested in elastic for your projects, we do carry it. I know sometimes people come in and they're like, oh, you don't have everything I need, so I can't shop there. But we're, again, thrifted, gifted, estate sale, just different kinds of things. So it's not, you know, it's not a Joann's, but it's a fun treasure hunt. So we got those in. And then we've got a ton of quilting magazines. So I haven't decided what I'm going to sell them for yet, but we've got a bunch of these quilting magazines. And actually, now that I'm looking at them, I'm like, there's some really cool projects in here. Like, look at that, you know. We got a good 5 or 6 boxes of quilting magazines. Well, not boxes, they're like the caddies. And Ellie's over there tagging them for me. So we've got a bunch. If you're into magazines or reusing magazines or even just finding projects in quilting magazines, we've got a bunch. We're going to have to redo our book section soon. And finally, well, not finally, we're going to show off this fabric, and then we're going to talk about the yarn that came in last week, and then that'll be it. Okay. This actually I did get thrifting yesterday. This is a nice piece of like polished cotton, which I thought was just really pretty. I could see some skirts. It's polished cotton. It's not like upholstery. But there's 2 pieces here. Really pretty. I love blue. Blue is my favorite color. And I like the kind of the hydrangea florals that are on here. So I picked that up. This was a piece of fabric that a customer dropped off on Wednesday. They just kind of came in and said, hey, we had this extra piece of fabric. We wanted you guys to have it. It's about a yard. So that's going to go out on the floor. I'll have to fold that up properly. This was a really cool donation. This is a box of bobbins. Now, I don't know if I'm going to sell this or if I'm going to keep them. I'm probably going to keep them. But I just thought it was a really cool donation to the store. We got a guide plate in here. I'm not sure what that is, but look at all of those bobbins and bobbin cases. I mean, for all the machines that I own, I mean, there's got to be one or two in here that fit my machines. Seriously. Like, these look like 15s, and they're all metal. 15s. Very cool, very, very cool. That makes me happy, because you know me and my sewing machines. It's a love affair. Got a fat quarter, an ironing mat, like to keep your iron, like when you're sewing and you don't want to burn your table. More zippers. And then I got this really neat plaid in a donation also. This is kind of heavy, but it's a nice piece. Check that out. We'll see what we're going to do with that. Yarn came in about a week ago, right, Elle? The yarn. So the yarn came in about a week ago. We're still pricing it, trying to get back into frame here. We got in all of this fun yarn. We're pricing it, we're putting it out on the floor. If you are into crochet, if you're into knitting, this is, again, a treasure trove for you to choose from. So this will be out on the floor also. And let's show off a couple pieces from this yarn. Check that out. This is a nice fluffy knit collage. This is robin egg blue, and it's hand spun with love in India. Really pretty. We've got some of that. This is like a rope kind of cotton. Really pretty. This is another one that I thought was really pretty. This is bamboo knitting yarn. Has different weights to it. We've got this little sampler collection. A lot of blues in this grouping. Here's another blue. Here's another sampler kit. Ooh, 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 they're tangled. Another sampler kit that we have. And there was another one or two that I wanted to show off. This one, and this one, and this one. Some nice yellows and browns, and this one is rug wool. And this person, yeah, these are all rug wool. This person was a weaver, and they were downsizing or, you know, destashing, so they just dropped off a donation. Very kind of them to bring it to the store. And I've seen this stuff before. Don't get it very often, but it's like a rope kind of feel to it. So really cool. We've got some thread in here, some Crafter's Secret, lots of fun stuff. So.